For 2025, I'm very bullish on Binance Coin. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the chart patterns that I see right now that are giving me the indication that this can do very well in this bull market cycle. Let's jump right in. So for this, I have on the chart a weekly time frame on a logarithmic scale. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I like to look at some of these crypto markets on a log scale. Otherwise, on a linear scale, it's a little bit harder to see some of the price movements because they're so massive. So on a log scale, it kind of spreads things out a little bit, and I'm able to see more of how some of these patterns are forming. And speaking of patterns, you can see that I have a couple of things on the chart. I've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you're not sure what that is a Elliott wave count. It's a part of Elliott wave theory. So let me explain kind of what one of the most basic Elliott wave patterns is. So this is a textbook example of what an Elliott wave pattern looks like. Don't really have time to go fully into how to analyze with Elliott wave, but essentially most of the idea behind Elliott wave is that the price of markets move in waves. They don't just go up all the time, and they don't just go down all the time. They move in waves. They go up, they come down, they move up, and they go down. And there's studies and analysis on how much they move up and how they move down and how many times they do so in any given pattern. And so one of the main patterns is this 5-wave structure where you have a wave up for 1, back down for 2, another wave 3, a pullback for wave 4, and another wave 5 before we have what's called an ABC correction phase. And so just to break this down for you, you can see on the chart there is a wave 1, a wave 2 down, a wave 3 up, a wave 4 back down, and we're in this final wave 5. That's part of my analysis, is that we're in this wave 5 that you can see right here. And so again, not that I have a time to really go into how to analyze with Elliott wave, but basically what we're looking for is this 5-wave structure to be complete. And this is again on a weekly time frame. So this is over a long period of time. I mean, this would have started in December of 2018. So I believe that in this 2025 bull market cycle for crypto, that this wave 5 will be completed. And so we're right in the middle of that. Now let me show you one of the other parts of Elliott wave theory, which is Fibonacci retracement. So there's another strategy, another way of analyzing the charts that goes beyond Elliott wave. You can use it outside of Elliott wave, but it's Fibonacci retracement. So you're measuring how much, so for any one move, so this move up from here to here, how much did it pull back? And so we've got the Fibonacci retracement tool where we come up and we measure from the bottom of the wave to the top of the wave. And we have these little measurements on the side that are standard. So they're percentages of how much this price moved back. And there's patterns involved with that as well. It doesn't mean that every time a wave is going to pull back to one of these specific levels, but there's lots of incidences where it does move back to one of these levels. And so we can measure that and use that in our analysis. And when it comes to Elliott wave, there are certain waves that have a tendency to pull back to a specific level of Fibonacci. For wave 2, it's the 0.618 level. For wave 4, it's the 0.382 level. It doesn't always do that, but there is a higher probability that price will move back to one of those specific layers. So in this case, in wave 2, it didn't pull back to the 0.618, but it did basically hit spot on the 0.786 level for this retracement. For wave 4, we have from the bottom of wave 3 to the top of wave 3, and we have price that came pretty much to the 0.236 level for wave 4, which is one of the common levels. Normally or typically, you would see it go to the 0.382, but there are times when it comes to just the 0.236. And so that's kind of where we landed right here before it made a higher move. Now, With that being said, let's look at just this action right here. So from the kind of the first peak in the 2021 bull market back in May and also in November, we had these two peaks. Let's look from there to where we're at currently. We had this pullback in which we're considering wave 4. But I also want to show you a different pattern that's forming as well. And the two of these together, this pattern I'm about to show you and Elliott wave, gives me even more confidence in where Binance Coin is going. And that pattern is the cup and handle continuation pattern. If you've watched some of my other videos, you've definitely seen me talk about this because a lot of the cryptos, the major cryptos, are putting in this pattern, this bull cycle. So to explain it briefly, we have price that comes up, making a series of higher highs and higher lows. It comes up to a point of resistance. Then it pulls back, making a series of lower lows and lower highs until it hits this bottom area. It basically makes a big U-turn and creates this low. And then it starts making the series of higher highs and higher lows again. But then it comes right back up to that area of resistance before making a short or brief pullback right before it explodes again. Now, this is a textbook example, and it's not always going to look like this on the chart. But if you understand the different parts of this pattern, then you'll be able to see it on an actual chart. So, for instance, I see this cup and handle pattern forming on Binance Coin. So let me grab this. We have price coming up, series of higher highs and higher lows. Then we have price coming down, making a series of lower lows and lower highs. Right here at the bottom of wave 4, we turn around and start making a series of higher highs and higher lows. And now we've come right up to this point of resistance. Now, potentially, we could be putting in this brief little handle right here. It could be even shorter than that. Who knows? But I do think that we'll see price continue on and it will blow past this area of resistance like we see in this example. And so putting these two patterns together, one, the Elliott wave, and then second, the cup and handle pattern, that gives me more confidence. And if you look at the cup and handle pattern, we can set a price target, which essentially we can do so by taking the measurement of the bottom of the cup to the top of the resistance, measuring that, and then placing it right on top of the level of resistance. And that will give us a price target. And I've already done that here. I've measured from the bottom to this layer of resistance and then placed it right on top. And so that takes us to about a $2,000 price point for a Binance coin. And I do think that's very reasonable for this bull cycle. If we get price to continue on and we got momentum and the cycle's not done, I think it's very reasonable that we get there. And so at this point in time, with Binance Coin being around $660, that would be a 3x from where it is today. And that's totally reasonable, just given how some of these crypto markets move. And with Binance Coin, it's actually held up its value pretty well compared to other cryptos. From this drop, it was only a 70% drop to wave 4, where sometimes those pullbacks and those crashes are like 90 some percent. So we only saw a 75% drop, where some are like 97. So it's held up pretty well, also trying to stay above these moving averages. So if you're asking me, what do I think about Binance Coin? Again, I'm very bullish, as I stated at the beginning of the video. In the short term, I'm looking to see what's happening here. And one of the things I do seem to have that I'm looking at is this bullish engulfing candle. So we have this green candle that followed this wicking candle, this hammer, I believe this one is a hammer. And so anytime I see one of those candles kind of engulf the body of the previous candle, especially with volume, that's a great sign, a great indicator. Not a guarantee, but other times where I see a bullish engulfing candle boom, like right here, we see price continue up. That's not, and you can't just look at the chart and say like, oh, here's a bullish engulfing candle, and so price is going to continue. It's important as to when and where that happens. So right here, we're also near an area of support with this 50 moving average, and we've got this candle that wicked down. Basically, a bunch of buyers stepped up, brought the price back up, and then we had volume come in on the candle thereafter. And so if we get a break above some of this resistance, and I think we'll continue on to looking to hit that price target of over 2,000 in this bull market cycle. But as I always say in all my videos, do your own research, do your own due diligence. These types of videos are only for entertainment purposes. They're not financial advice, but hopefully you can learn something from them. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next video.